Welcome to everyone. Welcome to this webinar on Kenya Safari. I'm very happy that you were able to join us. We have Nina Chong with us, the founder and president of Elimu Center. So today we will be talking about the safari in Kenya. And first of all, let me just introduce shortly our agency, Spirit Tours. We're a tour operator specializing in soulful journeys and spiritual tours. And we've been, our mission basically is to help people stop and reflect on their lives and really to enable them to go a little bit further in their spiritual and personal growth. We've been doing this safari in Kenya for many years, but this year is very special because we're also going to include some volunteerism. So you're going to be able to volunteer in a concrete and beautiful organization that is based in Kenya, which is called Elimu. Some of you might already be familiar with this beautiful organization. So we got Nina, who will talk to us in a little bit more about this. First, I just want to introduce quickly the purpose of this, or the theme rather, of this trip, of this safari and volunteerism, which is going to take place from April 2nd to the 18th for 17 days. The theme is Ubuntu, I am because we are. Ubuntu is an important concept for Africans. It's part of their, it's really their philosophy. And really, we would like to show you what it's all about. It says, the translation or the meaning can be synthesized by I am because we are, but it's so much more than this. But basically, it's to recognize the contribution of the whole, of the community for our own identity. So it's really beautiful. And what better way to grasp its importance than to learn by immersion? That's what we offer you. This unique adventure is open to you with the Canadian-Kenyan Elimu organization, which I just talked about, which means education in Swahili, through direct contact with young people of different ages and through the variety of services offered by Elimu. You will leave with a feeling, an experience, and possibly a deep learning of Ubuntu that will tint the rest of your trip. That's really the purpose. So we start with this. And then you will see Kenya with the eyes of its people, of its children. And then you will go on an expedition through the largest reserves in Kenya to observe wild animals in their natural habitat, explore the sacred lands of the Masai, exchange with members of this ancient tribe who lives in communion with nature. You will walk on an island among giraffes, zebras, and gazelles, live an experience of a lifetime that will mark you really for the rest of your life. And to help you live this adventure, not as a tourist, but as people marked by the African soul, your guide, Gijiga, which I'll introduce in a little bit, by his experience of this country, which he's been to many times, by his expertise and by his integrated workshops with the rhythm of the safaris, will guide you to a different, harmonious, and inspiring return. So you will keep Ubuntu in you forever. That's the experience we offer you, nothing less. And so your tour leader will be Guy Gigard. He's a human resource consultant, coach, trainer, and speaker. He's been helping people at the heart of their transitions for several years. He has developed, organized, and both in Canada and abroad. He has participated in several trips, trainings, and exploration courses. He's been also a tour guide for Spirit Tours for over 14 years. And he works for nonviolence and peace everywhere on the planet. For Guy, immersion is a nice place to let go. So where do we go? I show you quickly on the map of Kenya, the itinerary. You will first take the plane to Nairobi. So it's planned out of Montreal. We can help you if you have to leave from another city, Ottawa, Toronto, anywhere. We can help you with your flight tickets. So you fly to Nairobi on the first day, then you will take a domestic flight from Nairobi to Malindi, where Elimu Center is based. So we'll spend the first 4 days in Malindi, and then we will, from there, take a four-wheel bus, and from Malindi all the way to Amboseli National Park through Voi. So we'll have a quick stop there. And then Amboseli, sorry, it's not on the map, but it's a park that is right on the border of Tanzania. It's at the foot of Kilimanjaro mountain. And it's just gorgeous. You'll see some pictures later on. And then from there, you will drive to Nakuru Lake and Nevasha Lake. Nevasha Lake, where we're going to have a walking safari. The other safaris are by vehicle, but this one is going to be by foot on an island where there's no predators. And then from there, we're going to go to Masai Mara National Park, which is the largest game park in Kenya, which is an extension also of the Serengeti in Tanzania. And then from Masai Mara through the Great Rift Valley, we're going to drive back to Nairobi. Sorry, following the Great Rift Valley, right here, and then off to Nairobi, and then fly out of Nairobi. This is just to show you the domestic flight from Nairobi to Malindi. Malindi is by the Indian Ocean, and that's where Elimu Center is based. We're going to be staying at the Sandy's Hotel and Resort. As you can see, it's a beautiful 4-star resort right by the ocean. So that's where we're going to be staying for 5 nights. And we're going to take breakfast and dinner at the Sandy's every day, except the last day we're going to have a farewell dinner with Elimu. Nina will talk to you about that. And lunch will be at your, they're free, so you can go where you wish. So now I'm going to let Nina Chung speak to us, the founder of Elimu Center, to tell you a little bit about what's going to happen in Malindi.
Hi, thank you. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hi, my name is Nina Chung, and as Anne has said, I'm the founder and president of Elimu, and we're very, very excited that we're going to have an opportunity to have some of you come and visit us in Kenya. Just to start us off, education, entrepreneurship, and empowering young people is what we're all about. We can go to the next slide. I went over to Kenya in 2004 as a volunteer, and I'm still here. In fact, that's where I am right now today. I'm sitting in Elimu Resource Center, and I began by taking 2 young boys to school back in 2004. You can advance the slide for me, Anne. And those boys went into kindergarten at that time, and that was really the beginning of what is now Elimu. I'm going to go quickly because we don't have a lot of time, but I just, from that small little inspiration that I had while being here on my volunteer posting, within 10 years, we had built up an organization that has 4 different projects running. A sewing project which works with young women from rural communities. We bring them into a sewing college here in Malindi. They do a 2-year program, and at the end of that we help them with a sewing machine, and in the meantime we've helped them to know how to start up their own business. So this really empowers young women, takes them back to their rural communities. They start their businesses, and they're able to make choices for themselves. They help their siblings to stay in school. And what generally happens if they don't have this in their life, they don't really get to do any further studies after about grade 8. And kids are mostly married off by their fathers and uncles at this point. So by coming into Malindi and extending their studies and also training them with income generation skills and helping them start a business, they've come to be able to stand on their own 2 feet and make choices for themselves. We also have a stay in school project which sponsors children to keep them in school. We journey with those children right through to the end of high school. We've also built a small school, Upendo Sabaki Academy, which is now up to grade 6 and is in the hands of the local community. And we run a home for children, which is called Nyumbani Kwetu. Nyumbani Kwetu means like chez nous, or our home. And as Anne mentioned, Elimu means education in Swahili. We can go to the next slide, which shows you our most recent project. So this is where I'm sitting right now as we're speaking. It's the Elimu Resource Center. This really grew out of our work with our other projects, hearing the challenges that our children were experiencing and that they do experience in the schools, and especially the public schools here in Kenya. Things like not enough teachers, things like never getting their hands on the textbook that they need for their coursework. We started looking at ways of how we can assist in that area, and this is what grew out of that process. We started in a small, much smaller location, but this last year in 2018, we moved to this wonderful building, and we can now host in this building a separate room for primary school students. We have another room for high school students. The top floor is a big seminar space where we can host. Recently, we just did a big information forum for graduates of high school to come and find out more about post-secondary learning opportunities. In the school holidays, we have up to 300 kids in this center, and we're helping them with self-directed learning, digital tools such as e-textbooks, educational videos, and our software tutorials for things like mathematics and science. So they can come here now and they can get all those resources that they're missing in the classroom. And here you can see some photos of what goes on inside the center. There they are using the Kindles that we have 35 of those, and we've got 40 tablets that also are filled with various educational digital resources. If we move on to the next slide, we'll also show you what we're doing nowadays with the sewing students. So they have a college nearby, but they come to the resource center once a week, and we do what we call our digital fashion design course with them. This gives them digital proficiency, so they're learning how to use the computers. They're learning to get on the internet, to surf websites and come up with new fashion ideas, and also how to download YouTube videos to help them with practical issues around pattern making. And you can see here some of the results of their work and their creative designs that they come up with by themselves now. And moving on, we'll show you some of we're really moving into the world of entrepreneurship and employability. One of the things we discovered as we journey with our children, once they get to the end of high school and are transitioning now into standing on their own 2 feet, looking for work, the environment is tough over here. Jobs are not easy to find. And so we have started doing things like some career talks, leadership skills programs. We have an internship program where both high school students, high school graduates, and college graduates can come in and work with us for several months at a time. Excuse me, and they get hands-on experience in an active, modern, digitized work environment. And we will be able to give you a chance to really get hands-on involved with that when you're here. Get to see what the kids are doing. We plan to have a session where you can be with them in our seminar room and hear the challenges that they are facing, both inside school and as they try to find work or trying to make make an income for themselves. And we're hoping that some of you will be able to share also from your own perspective what you've learned in your careers, in your post-secondary learning experiences, and we can see how that sort of intercultural exchange may be of benefit to the children. We can go to the next one. Just to introduce you to a few of our alumni from our program. And again, you may get a chance to meet some of these. Sorry, dry throat. Hadija is one of our, I guess, most interesting stories. She's a young woman from a rural village, not far from here. She's the very first girl in her rural community to be able to complete high school. After violence erupted in that community, we took her back to high school to help her finish her grade 11 and 12. And that was successful. And she came to us later with an application for a college program. And we were able to take her to that, and she is now a college graduate as well. I'm very sorry about the coughing. So we can go to the next slide. These are the two young gentlemen that I started off with. So today, Joseph is in grade 12, and James has already graduated and is preparing to go to college. So for more information about Elimu itself, you can go to our website, which is elimu.ca. And we hope that you'll come and visit us in 2019 in April with Spirit Tours.
Thank you very much, Nina. This is very inspiring, really beautiful project. So can you tell us what will the participants be able to experience during those 4 days in Malindi?
Yes, so we really want people to be able to get engaged, and our goal with this is for your participants, for you to be able to really interact with these children and young people. It'll be the school holidays, so we're going to have a good 250 to 300 kids jammed in this center, and they're coming to do the best they can to advance their studies before they go back to school, to get all those resources they've been missing. So we would like to have an opportunity, I think I just mentioned before, to do a sharing session where we can share, we'll hear their stories, hear the challenges that they face, help you to get a much better understanding of what the reality is of an average, a vulnerable, impoverished student in the public school system here in Kenya. And then to let them kind of hear what your challenges have been as a student, as a young person graduating, and to share some advice as well.
Mm-hmm. Or if people are in entrepreneurship or leadership as well, I guess.
Yeah, so we're always looking for opportunities to share experiences on that, on entrepreneurship, starting a business, getting into a career. And so whenever we've got adults, and this will be adding that sort of cultural element, so they can hear a little bit about how things are in Canada, and Canadians will hear a little bit about how things are in Kenya. We'll also have an opportunity to help the children with their studies while you're here. Reading is a really huge, literacy building is really important. So just to get you to sit with the kids, take up the Kindles and help them with their reading. We would like also to do an off-site program. So we'll let the children come up with that, with the idea, and to design it and develop it, and then we'll invite you to join with them. So we'll take a group of kids, maybe 50 kids or so, and we'll go out into the community. There's a national marine park here. We can go and do some marine environmental programming. There is a local forest here where they do tree planting and clearing and learning about the indigenous flora and fauna. So you'll be able to join them for that program and kind of, see through the eyes of the children what they're learning, what they learn in school, and how we at Elimu try to kind of bring their education, the things in their textbooks into life for them. And then there is one of our programs is the school that we built, Upendo Sabaki Academy. It is in the hands of the local community. We don't run it on a day-to-day basis, but we would like to take you out and let you have a chance to see both what the school looks like and also what a rural community looks like. We'll meet some of the kids, take you to their homes. So we're talking about mud huts with thatched roofs or tin roofs. See what they do to get water, no running water, no electricity. So it'll be a chance to see again the reality of how people are living in those conditions and what that means for them.
Mm-hmm. Great.
We'll end the 4 days with meal preparation together. So I think, as you talked about Ubuntu and sort of the community building, I think in all cultures we have one similarity, and that is like sharing a meal is so important to bonding and sharing. And you'll be amazed how much the kids can handle all of this by themselves. Kenyan children grow up from very, very young being able to handle all the household chores and activities. So we'll have the kids very much hands-on involved, and they'll be teaching you how to prepare a nice, good, big meal, a traditional Kenyan meal, and we'll be able to enjoy that and make that your last night's farewell dinner.
Great. Wonderful. Sounds really, really great. Thank you, Nina. Now I'm going to go through the safari because after this wonderful experience in Malindi, then you will have the opportunity to go on a safari. So it's like a 10-day safari, and you're going to start with Amboseli National Park, which we see here. It's located in the Loitokotov district, Rift Valley province of Kenya. And the ecosystem, mainly savanna, grassland spread across the Kenya and Tanzania border. It's at the foothill, as I said before, of Kilimanjaro, which we see here in the picture. And the park is famous for being the best place in Africa to get close to free-ranging elephants, among other wildlife species. We're going to be lodged at Amboseli Serena Safari Lodge. All the lodging is four-star hotels. Are four-star hotels. They're really very, very nice because they're also surrounded by nature. We're just at the edge of the national park. And it's just gorgeous, the view that we can have of the Kilimanjaro. When we go on the safaris, we can see different wildlife. So we're going to spend the 2 first days of the safari, from day 7 to day 9 in Amboseli. Then on day 9, we drive to Nevasha Lake. Nevasha Lake is well known, especially for Crescent Island, which we'll see in just a bit. First, yes, I'll introduce the lodging. It's in Sopa Lodge. Sopa Lodge is a hotel chain, a Kenyan hotel chain, which is specialized in safari lodges. And so this is where we're going to stay in Nevasha. It's really beautiful. And then we're going to go on a cruise to Crescent Island on day 10. Crescent Island is the place where several scenes from the film's Memories of Africa, or rather Out of Africa, was shot, and also Tomb Raider 2nd. So we will go on a walking safari on this island to see gazelles, zebras, wildebeest, and giraffes that are roaming around the island. So it's just incredible, and it's free of predators. So there's no threat. It's totally safe to go around. Of course, we'll have a local guide with us that will show us around, you will also be able to spot some in the lake, a lot of beautiful marine birds. So that's what awaits you there. Then we're going to drive to Lake Nakuru National Park, which is famous for its pink flamingos that are lining on the lake shore. It's also a sanctuary for animals that are, how do you say, endangered, yes, endangered species, like the black rhino, sorry. We're going to stay in another Sopa Lodge that is overlooking the Nakuru Lake. As you can see, it's just a gorgeous view. And we're going to go on game drives also around the lake. You're going to be able to see different animals, rhinos, elephants, monkeys, different wildlife. And then on day 12, we're going to drive to Masai Mara National Reserve, which is the largest game park in Kenya. And it's also an extension of the Serengeti, which is located in Tanzania. It's a beautiful reserve. Sorry, it's a name in honor of the Masai people. They're the ancestral inhabitants of the area, and for them it's their sacred land. Mara means spotted, and it's a description for the circles of trees, scrub, savanna, and cloud shadows that mark the area. So we're going to stay in another Sopa Lodge of Masai Mara, which is, as you can see, located in a beautiful nature, surrounded by nature. And in Masai Mara, for sure, well, not for sure, we can never say for sure, but you're going to see a lot of the big five. Big five is the lions, I'll come back with the big five. I just need to translate the vocabulary, but they're like the animals that back in the time when the hunters were able to hunt in those game parks, which is no longer the case, fortunately. Yeah, they were like the five animals that, you know, they had to kill so that they would come back triumphant. They did the big five, you know. So so yes, so you can spot them there. There are a lot. Every time I went to the Masai Mara, I saw lions, but of course we can never guarantee it. And oh, this is your tour guide, Guy. I wanted to show this picture because this is the Mara River, and the Mara River is the natural border between Tanzania and Kenya in the reserve, and it's also the border of the Serengeti and the Masai Mara game park. So that's where every year, like in July, the big migration takes place. With the wallabies and zebras, and so the animals cross right in that river, and then of course the crocodiles go there and wait, hoping to get a prey, to get a meal. So you'll see the crocodiles when we go, but yes, it won't be the season of the migration, but you're going to be able to see all those animals there. And also there's an opportunity to go on a balloon ride. It's not included, it's optional. We do that at sunrise. It's really a great experience. It ends with breakfast in the savannah with mimosa or champagne. So it's a really nice experience as well. So day 13 and 14, we're still in the Masai Mara. Yeah, we're going to go visit a Masai village to interact with the Masai people. We try as much as possible to really have a genuine encounter with these people, that it may be an exchange, not just us being, like, we try to avoid being tourists, although it's hard to totally avoid it. anyway, we're kind of tourists when we go there, but we, we try to really have, an exchange, a sharing with them. We try to engage in conversation so that they also get something out of this meeting, out of us also. So very often we go to some village and they're very curious. We don't go all the time to the same village because they have a lot of visitors and they try to minimize the impact so that they don't have visitors every day in the same village. But normally when we go, we are able to, have some sharing. Some of the people, they recognize Guy, they've seen him before, and we can really have a good interaction, and they talk to us about their spirituality, their way of life, their culture, and it's really interesting. It's really nourishing, and you learn things, and we hope they learn as well. And they always start with a ritual, a welcome ritual, with spiritual dancing and chanting, and they invite us to take part of it. And that's also very nice, to really engage with them, not just stay there and look and take pictures, but dance with them. And I think that's what makes it special. And you get a chance also to see the art and craft that the women do by hand. And you can encourage the local economy by buying directly there what they make. So that's going to be a very beautiful experience as well. That's during the dancing and the chanting, when the Masai warriors jump to impress the women. And then after this stay in Masai Mara, we get to go, hold on, I just need to, okay. We get to go to Mariapolis Piero, which is also called the Village of Unity. It's part of the folklore movement. It's a congregation, or rather an ecclesial movement that is part of the Catholic Church, but really open to the world. They use the word unity. It's really their charism, because what they want to bring about in the world is the unity between all women, men and women, all men and women, all humans, because they say, and I totally agree with that, we're all brothers and sisters. We're all daughters and sons of the same Father, and we should help each other and live in harmony with each other. So that's what they want to show to the world, that it's possible. So you will meet people from different continents, different countries in this place, and also we get to hear testimonials of young people from different tribes who had an experience of living in this village for a certain time, and to interact with people of tribes that are supposed to be like enemies in their culture still nowadays. And then they learn to appreciate each other and live in harmony, and it's a big step for them. And so it's very touching to hear their testimonials, and they always welcome us with songs and dances, and I show you a little bit of that right now. I hope this can work. Maybe not. Oh, okay. Yesterday worked. Sorry about that. Okay. Here's the video of the village, so you just see, and which is a very interesting also. It's a movement that was born in Italy, but it's spread all over the world nowadays, and they always enculturate themselves and respect the culture and the architecture of the place. So there, you see the little bungalows. It's really interesting to see that, and that's where we'll stay for the last night. And here we see. Okay, maybe not the beautiful songs and dancing. Sorry, you'll have to go there to see it for yourself. So just an overview, basically what we offer you, the highlights: discovery and volunteering at Elimu Center at the beginning of the stay, game drive at sunrise. Well, the whole safari, but the highlights is the game drive at sunrise to see the animals. That's when the animals get out, they're waking up, they're hungry, they go hunting. Also at the end of the day, we do game drives. And we see beautiful sunsets, the sharing community life in Mariapolis Piero. The bonus, we got workshops led by our tour leader that will teach you about Ubuntu and different African concepts during the tour, meeting with the Masais, then the stay by the Indian Ocean at the beginning of the journey. The Indian Ocean is just breathtaking, really, and the whole experience at Malindi it's really going to be an incredible experience. So I just want to tell you quickly about the general information, the pricing. You see that on our website, but quickly I'll tell you that the regular price at this point is $7,770 per person. That includes the airfare out of Montreal. If you don't need the air, then we'll give you a price for land. The land portion can help you with your air transportation from your city of departure, your city of residence. That's not a problem. So that price is in double occupancy. If you register by Friday, we're happy. Friday, sorry, I'll give the date. By January 11th, I'll be happy to offer you a $200 discount, which was our early bird special, which is expired, but I'll be happy to offer it to you by tomorrow. This package includes not only the airfare, but accommodation in 3-star hotel in Malindi and in comfortable lodge during the safari and in the Mariapolis Piero for the last night. So they're all 4-star hotels. Sorry, Malindi is not a 3-star, it's a 4-star. Sorry, I need to correct this. There's also local transportation for the whole safari in private minibus according to the itinerary. All admission fees to the parks. Every activity except the balloon ride is included in all admission fees. 4 to 6 hours of group workshops with Guy Giguin, with our tour leader, and all the activities mentioned in the schedule. Round trip flight, I said that already, with KLM. Domestic flight Nairobi, Malindi is included. 2 meals per day in Malindi and 3 meals per day. So all meals for the rest of the trip during the safari. The service of a local guide, chauffeur, or bus driver, and also your tour leader from Spirit Tours, and all taxes are included as well. The only thing that is not included is the visa. The visa fee is $51 for Canadian citizens. We help you through the steps to get your visa. We send you the form and vaccination, if you need vaccination, the fees are not included also. Travel insurance, that's optional. We offer the Blue Cross if you're a Quebec or Ontario resident. We can offer you really good prices with a 10% discount because it's a group price with the Blue Cross. Meals that are not mentioned, so only the lunches in Malindi are not included. Personal expenses and tips to the drivers are not included. And then the contribution to the travel agent client compensation fund, but actually this is free of charge, so there's no extra cost for that. After January 1st, 2019, now there is no cost, and you're insured if you're a Quebec resident for this compensation fund. If you need more information about that, I'll be very happy to give you more information. Actually, right this moment, you can send your question. Send your questions here, and we'll be happy to answer you. So the deadline for registration, very important, is February 1st. Please book quickly. In order to book your space, you need to send us a deposit of $500, and the balance of payment is due 60 days prior to departure, so in February. Your deposit can be sent, actually you can book directly online on our website, www.spirittours.com. That's just the easiest way to do it. Otherwise, if you prefer to pay by check, you get a $50 discount. You can send it by mail. That's also a possibility. If you need more information, feel free to call us at 1-866-331-7965. That's our toll-free line, 1-866-331-7965. We'll be very happy to answer any question, give you all the information that you need. So it's been a pleasure. Nina, would you like to say a word for concluding this meeting? You'll need to unmute.
I think I'm unmuted now. You're hearing me?
Yes.
So I just want to thank everybody for their time. I want to thank you too, Anne, for putting together this tour. And I agree with you. I think it's going to be an experience of a lifetime for people who, especially if it might be your first time to Africa. And I know that you'll just have a wonderful time meeting the children and getting to experience what they do here on a daily basis and see how lives are improving by all of us doing our part from Canada and here in Kenya. So hoping to welcome you to Malindi in April 2019. Thank you.
Wonderful. We're great. Thank you very much again. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and we hope to see you soon in Kenya. Bye.